Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
Exciting morning here live from our studio in Lagos, Nigeria. And a special welcome to Ways Breakfast hashtag What Are You Saying? It's still International Women's Week in our studio. So far this week, we've addressed topics like women in leadership positions and its complexities. On Tuesday, we addressed violence against women and girls. And yesterday, we discussed how women can gain self-worth beyond materialistic possessions. Today, we've brought to you another topic addressing women matters. Woman matter, basically. Driving this conversation home to you this sweet morning is I, Okikiola Taiwo Jalukmo. And of course, I'm sharing this unshakable table with my beautiful daughters of Zion.
Wow.
God's Beauty and Oluchi. Hi, good morning, ladies.
I just read in your intro. Firstly, this table is always shaking. It's not unshakable.
No, it's unshakable.
I get this table. You know what I mean? And then Daughters of Zion, I like that one.
It's giving me what's that song? Iron Breaker.
That's how you guys doing this morning? I love your tops. I've been saying it since I got here this morning. Yours looks nice, not so bad. Yours looks bright, like it's giving energy.
One man's food is
Thank
another
you
man's
so much.
poison.
No,
That looks,
it looks
fair.
Compliment yourself.
It's someone else's, oh my God, this is incredible. I want to build something based on this that I'm saying. You're saying looks fair. I don't blame you. It's familiarity, you guys.
Well, this is one of the reasons why she's the only one that shakes this table.
I don't shake table. I bring peace
You
to
bring
the
peace to
table.
the table. So who shakes the table?
You do, with your yellow hair.
Okay, guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is a show that talks about everything that concerns you. Yes, it's Ways Breakfast. Remember, you are the main ingredient in this conversation. This Thursday, we're talking about how women are and can empower communities and drive sustainable development. Our phone lines are open to you. Please call us on 0702-500-7749 or 0701-424-2420. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click that subscribe button now, like and share the link. We will be right back after this break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Now, let us take a look at what's making the headlines today. Today, we'll be highlighting the top stories from the Daily Trust and, of course, the International Guardian this morning. Starting off with the Daily Trust, Oluchi, please introduce us.
Absolutely. The major headline reads, alleged sexual harassment, Senate dismisses Natasha's petition against Akpabio. Above that, we see Fontua battles TY and Danjuma, others over 9 Mobile. Security beefed up at hotel where ex-CG and Paradang was found dead. Hippo attacks, Gombe farmers keep vigil on farms. After Supreme Court judgment, Rivers to hold fresh local government polls August 9. And then we have stories beneath the major headline. Says dismissed immigration officer nabbed over attempt to sell arms to bandit. We also have a woman accused of killing co-wife in Bauchi. And the last story says subscription hike, commission sues multi-choice. When I checked this paper in the morning, somehow I skipped these Hippo attacks. It's really neat now that I'm wondering that, oh, there was this kind of story here. It says Hippo attacks, Gombe farmers keep vigil on farms. That's, something we have spoken about here before, how some of these herdsmen, face challenges with their crops because of livestock that come to infiltrate, raid, and destroy their crops, and keeping a vigil in your farm. Firstly, I'm thinking of a lot of things right now. Like, when they come, what do you want to do? How did they even get to that place? A whole lot of, back and forth. But let's talk about this alleged sexual harassment. It's still on the lips of everyone, and that's because we haven't seen any concrete conclusion or, evidence per se, because Nigerians, we like to follow up with stories. So when controversial stories like this come up and nothing hits, the ground, we're going to still keep talking about it, and it's okay. So here it says Senate dismisses Natasha's petition against Akpabio. Yesterday, a friend of mine, because we've been having this conversation before, he sent me, a list of, their rules, the things that work with the Senate. Because I was telling him that Natasha, based on what you said, that she's a lawyer, she should know better. She couldn't just do something if she has not planned and figured it out. Yeah. And then he sent me one petition, whatever, and number 4 states that no senator may present to the Senate a petition signed by himself. We've been seeing a lot of, what's it called now? I won't call it crusade, but rallying from 2 parties. There's this team Akpabio, there's the team Natasha. But if you look at some of the things that are going behind the scene, it looks like maybe it's not in the favor of Natasha, because, coming up to say that no senator may present to the Senate a petition signed by himself is almost like whatever Natasha is trying to put for that petition might be annulled because of a rule that is against her in that sense, even though her grievances are quite heavy. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I was telling the person that, see, I want us to go beyond sentiment, because seeing rallying now from 2 parties is looking like you are trying to use sentiment to address this issue. And that is not what we need. We need the judiciary in that sense, the people who put law to order to investigate this matter and let us have a conclusion. Yes. It's not women from Akwa Ibom or, our husband. If you check the banner, the fact that they had to go and print banner is a very serious thing. But we don't want to use sentiment. This is not answer. We don't want to use sentiment to address this issue, because anybody can rally anybody to support them. We all know that, both from Natasha and Akpabio. Let the right authorities get involved with this case, get to the root of the matter, and let's have a conclusion. I haven't seen any interview from Akpabio himself where he has come to...
Literally, they have even dismissed the petition, so it's almost like the petition does not even exist anymore. It doesn't. So unless she wants to go out...
dismissed by... Who dismissed it? The Senate?
The Senate.
Are they over the judiciary? Are they above the judiciary in this?
They have
equal rights.
That's why there's check and balance.
Like independent body. You understand? So that's why most of the times after election has been conducted, they now go out of that space to go to court. From court, if Court of Appeal doesn't work, they go to Supreme Court. If Supreme Court doesn't work, it's almost like they
Supreme Court is the highest.
They just have to take it out of that space. So if the Senate has dismissed it, it doesn't exist anymore. That story doesn't exist anymore. Honestly, in the Senate.
It should still exist. Let us have a conclusion. Else Nigerians will still rally around this, and people will come up with their own different, conclusion on stories like this, and it might not be good for further things in the future. So please, let us have something conclusive.
So the thing is, you know what? Away from this
Please,
case,
let's just take
let's
the
just go
papers.
straight to the international. All right, straight into the Guardian newspaper. The main headline reads, United States stop sharing intelligence with Kyiv to pile pressure on Zelensky. Top left center, we have, it shows how far we have come. Women's boxing powers its way to the Royal Albert Hall. Top right headline, we have a joy to watch. Marilyn James gets Millie Black rather. Bottom left center, we have the London students may have raped have raped 100 women. Then the headline I want to quickly talk on says United States stops sharing intelligence with Kyiv to empower pressure on Zelensky. So in a nutshell, right, that headline is just talking about the fact, it's just giving more, more updates on the United States stand on, helping the Ukraine with the military aid. So it's one thing for Trump to say that we're not helping you guys with military aid. He has not come to the conclusion that even down to information regarding like the military is not even sharing to the Ukrainians, that's to Zelensky. And I think there's a pressure around Zelensky should, go for, come for a ceasefire. We already know we had that conversation earlier. And I feel like, I feel like that's what should happen now, because given the back and forth, the fact that the United States has already come to that conclusion, it's not looking like Trump is going to back out anytime soon. So I think they should just, go for a ceasefire instead of this back and forth and, still having war up and down, and it's not even looking like they can actually, if they go for war now, it's not looking like they're going to be.
I agree with you.
Exactly.
Somehow, because it's been a long conversation, and I mean, as we already spoke about the Nigerian newspaper, let them just do this thing and just get it over with. We are tired of inconclusive judgments.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all we have for you this morning on today's newspaper. We'll be taking your questions and comments live on our social media platforms, so be sure to join the conversation. We'll be right back after this break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Today we're discussing a topic that's at the heart of creating a more equitable and sustainable world, which is empowering women and empowering communities. We're going to be asking the role of women in sustainable development. Together, we'll explore the benefits of empowering women, the role women can play in sustainable development, and how women can become aware of their roles in society. Joining me this morning are two incredible women who are making a positive impact in their communities and beyond. I have Barrister Orifunke Rekia Azan, who is the Executive Chairman of Onigbongbo and a renowned advocate for women's rights and sustainable development. I also have Mofolu Sade Sunaike, who is also an advocate in driving women's empowerment to the grassroots, a community builder, and many more. It was a beautiful thing reading both of them's bio. Good morning, Mofolu Sade and Barrister Orifunke. Good morning. Do I have you here?
Good morning. Good morning.
So I'm just going to, because I don't know, I'm excited that I have both of you here. So I'll first ask Barrister Orifunke, being the executive chairman of Onigbongbo, what's what was that thing that set you apart? We know that a lot of women are not, let me say, fortunate to be in power in terms of leadership positions. So what's that thing that set you apart? Because I can qualify you as an empowered woman. So what's that thing that sets you apart? Do I have Barrister here? Okay, do I have Mofolusade here?
Hello, okay.
Yes, I can hear you, Ma. So
Okay,
let me direct that question to you.
Stop now.
Can you hear me, Ma? Okay, so Mofolusade, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay, so let me redirect the question to you. Can I ask you, reading your bio, I saw how much wealth of experience that you have, so I can qualify you as an empowered woman. So what was that thing that motivated you, and what set you apart from the many?
Okay, so my main motivation is my why. One of the things that drives me is the need to, I believe that we're all put in this world to contribute something, right? And I've always had this belief that I would not live without giving my own quota, without sharing my own voice to the society. And one of the top things also that motivates me is my children, because I feel like the way I live my life is a template for them. Is giving them, showing them what is possible, and showing them also how to treat women, because I'm a mom of boys.
Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah. So, can you hear me, Mofolusade?
I can hear you, but okay. I noticed that there's feedback when I'm trying to talk. It's echoing.
Okay, please go on, Ma.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the feedback. As I'm talking, it's echoing.
Okay, that's probably network, but please continue. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, yes. I said three things. My why, keeping my eyes on my why. I believe that I was put in this world to contribute something, and I want to leave that truth. So let my voice be heard. And I said one of my greatest motivations, too, is my children. Because as a mom of boys, I believe that the children that I raise and send into the society is a key contribution to the society. So, you know, being empowered, living my life, doing all the things that I was created to do is sending them a message, you know, in how they would approach the world, how they will interact with other women, and, you know, the kind of beliefs that they would have.
All right, thank you so much, Mofolusade. Forgive me. Yes. All right, yeah, thank you. It's amazing work that you're doing, supporting women in business. Honestly, when I see women making great impacts like this, an inspiration to me as well to want to make an impact. Yesterday on the show, I was talking about impact, because I think, you know, great people should make other people great. So with your experience so far in supporting women's business, I know that when it comes to women's matter, we talk a whole lot about it. But when it comes to entrepreneurship mothers, what are those things that we're not talking about enough about how they contribute to the economic growth? So, because I feel like maybe if there's some areas that we're overlooking and then begin to touch more on, you probably get, you know, the traction that we need. So when it comes to women contributing to the economic development of a nation, what are those things that we're not talking about enough based on your experiences so far?
Okay, so I mean, not to downplay the efforts that are out there already, you know, in place, because I know that government is always talking about the contribution of these SMEs and the micro businesses to the economy. I mean, how huge that impact is and how important it is. We talk about this a lot, but I feel like more can be done, you know, about it, which is access to funding. In my experience, for many women, that is one of the biggest challenges. Many of them are at the mercy of loan sharks, You know, they have cutthroat interest rates, and that's why many times they are unable to grow their businesses beyond the micro level. And that's on one side. The other side is the aspect of capacity building. A lot of business women deal with imposter syndrome, and you know, so they are not bullish in their approach to business. So, you know, those areas, building capacity and, you know, giving them access to funding that will not drown them.
So, I don't know if Mofolosale can hear me clearly. So you have literally highlighted some challenges that women face, especially with women's empowerment initiatives. But is there a way that we can address them? And right after you answer this question, I also have God's Beauty here who also has some questions for you. But I would like to know that while we have highlighted these challenges from funding to lack of enough resources, how can we address these issues surrounding women's empowerment?
So one of the key things is even within the women ourselves. In the communities that I work with, I try to push for collaboration. You know, just encouraging more women to do away with the idea of it's me. And the business and the this and the that, but, you know, just creating room for more collaboration. And one of the challenges with, you know, collaboration that people shy away from it, the reason why people shy away from it is because, you know, they do not have confidence in the justice system. So in the event that you collaborate with someone and they sort of renege on the agreements that you have, people do not, I mean, many women are afraid that they will not get justice, right? You know, people will cheat them and walk away with it. And these collaborations that I even push for are not just collaborations amongst women, because as much as we talk about this women empowerment, we need the men. So they bring something to the table. I mean, the way God created it, there's a certain set of gifts that women have that men do not have. Just as there is a certain, you know, set of gifts that men have that women do not have. You know, so we just have to find ways to facilitate collaboration amongst men and women in such a way that each party feels protected, and, you know, they are sure that, okay, in the event that something goes wrong, whoever is feeling cheated or whatever will get justice. Because, you know, many times we cannot sit down and say, oh, it's government. Government cannot do everything. You know, we have small buckets of interventions here and there. I feel like we need to consolidate them more, and then, you know, just foster more collaborations, and not just like saying, oh, women within the women, but women and men coming together to build empires, to build big successful companies, you know, without having any fallouts that lead to one person getting away with the shorthand.
All right, thank you so much. Is Barrister Funke with us? Barrister Funke, are you with us? Okay, let's just ask let's ask the woman that's already
here.
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So I want to ask this question, right? I have this belief system that when you see the result of something, you always want to do it and do it overly because you've seen that the result is a good one. So now I want to ask, after we've empowered women, what do you think are those, you know, what do you think will be the impact to the society? Because I feel like one of the reasons why probably women are not we don't see women representation in like leadership and all of those spaces or sectors that we want them to be, it's probably because of these stereotypes that we have. So what if, I mean, for the little women that are empowered and are in these sectors, what have they done differently to help the country? I mean, if we start talking about this now, I believe that other people would see a reason to, you know, always want to help women and always want to put them out there. So I want you to expatiate on that a bit. Are you with us, Barrister Funke?
So I guess the network is having the best of her phone or laptop right now. So we'll just move on with Mofolusade. So do you want to redirect?
Yes, please.
Please, Mofolusade, are you here with us?
Are you here with us?
Yeah.
Did you get the question?
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what's your thought on it?
Yeah, so just summarize it again.
Okay, so I was saying that I have this belief system, right? That once you see a particular thing go well, it just makes sense that you always want to do it because, you know, you've seen the impact so far and it is going great. Now, for those women that we see in the leadership sector, in the political space and all of that, what impact have you seen? I mean, what impact are they making in the society that you would want to talk about, so that when other people listening to this, they would see a reason why they should, you know, always make sure that women are out there? Because I feel like we really don't blow our trumpet. Yeah, there's always more focus on the men, and we're always talking about the men, the impact they have made, and all of that. But once you start talking about the impact the women has made as well, I have the belief system that, you know, people will see it and they will have a reason to want to push women out there.
Okay, great. So if we go, I mean, let me just take it back. Let me back up a bit more.
All right.
To the days of people like Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, Queen Amina, these people who led revolutions, who drove change, you know, fearlessly and boldly. I feel like we've come a long way from those days, right? Because right now, I'll be honest with you, the examples that we've had of women in politics has been very, very negative in terms of there's no time a woman gets to the top that they are not dragged for one reason or the other, whatever it is. And sometimes even from fellow women, right? So a woman is there before she can even make any impact, before she can even make any difference, something comes up. And it becomes a big issue, you know, and, you know, they're just sort of frustrated out of the system. So, you know, first of all, I think we just need a general mindset change, because seeing these things discourages other women from wanting to even go into politics. I know that it's not as if it's easy for anybody. Even for men, it's not easy. But for women, it's especially difficult because there are so many things that you are dealing with. You know, people are talking about how she's dressing, or how she's talking to this person, how she's this. You know, it's just really, really ridiculous. So I think that's even where we need to start from, to just allow, because I believe that women have a lot to bring to the table, right? We have contributions that we can give to policy direction and all of these things that will make a difference. I mean, you know, we need more representation in these places of power. And I know that it will make a lot of difference. But first of all, we have to even just get used to accepting the idea of women in politics, women in leadership roles, and, you know, supporting and allowing them to breathe. Generally, breathe, allow them to make their impact. Because I won't lie to you, so far, once a woman gets to the top, is attack and attack and attack, left, right, and center. You know, so you don't even get to the point where they are able to contribute their own quota or make their own impact at that level.
Mofolusade, we'll go on a quick break right now. When we return, we'll go deeper into this conversation and, you know, highlight how more ways we can actually empower women to empower their communities at large. Please stay with us.
This is Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Welcome back to the show. So if I still have Mofolúṣadé here, I would really love to ask, you have highlighted so many things, and in some ways, somehow, you've also highlighted certain solutions that can be implemented. But I want to know, how else can we create a more supportive environment for women, especially when they want to take on leadership roles, or they want to be part of sustainable development, or even community development? Because most times, I can tell you for a fact that the system sometimes tries to stifle women to a particular position where there's no way up. Yes, you can go down, but there's no way up, there's no way down. You're just stuck. And then if you start complaining about going higher, there's like, you are too ambitious, you are too, you are too open to, do you want to introduce yourself to things that you don't like? And all these things put together. So how else can we create a supportive environment for women? I would really like the Barrister Funke to answer this before Mofolúṣadé answers. Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I've been trying to log in, but the network has been showing me shaky bastard. One of the first things when you're coming into a male-dominated space, I think it should apply to every industry, not just to politics, is that you cannot show weakness. You have to be stronger than your male counterparts. You're not allowed to be a woman, so to speak, at first. That's the way to get your initial acceptability, is you have to show them you can be a man. So you have to borrow it somehow. If you don't have it, you have to borrow that masculine energy in a way. So you let them know, I belong at this table. But then at the same time, you don't lose your femininity, so you can relate to the other females in that same masculine-dominated industry. Because there's safety in numbers. There's always safety in numbers. And you don't have so many women. You cannot alienate your fellow women. And for me, in politics, I've been fortunate to find that we have support groups where we cluster ourselves in any given sector, any given category in politics. We have women that come together we cluster ourselves and we encourage each other, because it's not a walk in the park. Being in a male-dominated industry, you have to prove yourself more than the average man. You have less room for mistakes. So that support system is very necessary. So of course, if you are seen to want to aspire for higher roles, I remember the first time I tried to run for chairman, I was told I was overly ambitious, that I've had people say, oh, over their dead bodies, did I become the executive chairman of the local government? I've had people think, oh, your advice, you should be content with being a deputy. That's the thing for women. You should be content to be second to a man, just being there in the shadow as well. There's a moniker that vice chairman, we're spare tires. Just being a spare tire, as long as you're there, just have a role. It doesn't have to be important. You might not have a part of that, but as long as you're given a title, they don't really think we have what to put in. So you now have all these hurdles to push through. You have to prove yourself more than your male contemporaries. But then we always have women in those same industries that come together. I want to say what we women like to, we're very emotional. Women are emotional by nature. Things that men will not take personal within each other. We women make the mistake. We get our emotions involved. We take things personal. We get upset. We don't know how to let things go. So it sullies and it ruins the sisterhood between us, where we should be coming together. We end up fighting with each other. We end up having misunderstandings with each other over things that are not so important. Because that's why you now hear this thing that women are women's worst enemies. Women supporting women in the mud. It's not as bad as we think it is, but it's just women's emotional nature that happens to lead. It's our natural instinct to lead with our emotions, but we have to learn to suppress that. You have to work, if you are going to work in a male-dominated industry, you have to suppress your natural emotions. You have to compartmentalize things. Me at work is totally different from me at home and with my friends and family. With my friends and family, I allow myself to be emotional. My younger brother calls me a big crybaby, because every small thing, I'll be crying, I'll be emotional. But at work, it's a totally different ball game. We have to learn to do that, be less emotional, be more critical thinking. Then our collaboration can stand for each other, and we will be a formidable force. Women are formidable. I keep saying this. We can multitask to no end. We have high levels of critical thinking when we are not emotional. We have high levels of problem solving. We are phenomenal. Just that we need to, work harder at coming together and be less emotional.
Amazing stuff there, Barrister. Thank you so much. I really like how you've spoken and you've given credence to women again, and then we're further encouraged to see ourselves as the champions. But I want us to bring it down to what you do in the political space. We're talking about empowering women and empowering communities. So I was just thinking, now that we have a political person in our conversation, I want to ask this question. Does it get better for you when it comes to empowering women as opposed to other independent women like Mrs. Mofolu? He's not necessarily in politics per se, but he's doing some advocacy for women. So I want to ask, in your own political space and with what you have been exposed to and the, let's say, certain privileges that you have, does it get better for women in your space to do much more in empowering women and the community at large? Or are there also restrictions and challenges that you face, even with the certain privilege in quotes that you seem to have?
I would say it gets better and it gets worse. When I was a vice chairman, I was able to focus my energies and decide that, okay, my niche place will be my focus was on women, young women, and older ladies, empowering them, getting them skill sets. Because in my own personal journey, having a skill set, a vocational skill set that could make money for me was a game changer for me. That was for a long time, because I'm a lawyer, I bake, I make jewelry. So I had all those other streams of income. And I've always wanted to, help other ladies, from the young ladies to the elder, always have another stream of income. Whether you're married or not, a woman needs to be financially stable. A man is not a financial plan. So, but as a vice chairman, it's easier for me to focus on those things. As a executive chairman, it's easier because I have more access to funding, I have more access to a larger group of women, I have more access to people who can help me organize. But then again, now I cannot just focus on women. There's a large community that I serve, that I'm answerable to. I have to also now, shift my focus from just women alone to youth, to the elderly, to other things that need attention. Although women are still a bedrock of my campaign, a bedrock of my journey. Last Christmas, we had widows over, because widows usually feel the pinch and they feel that emotional gap at festive periods. We had widows over. We gave them things for Christmas. Well, next week, we're organizing an empowerment for women where we would set them up with POS stations. But I cannot focus on women as much as I used to. But the things I do, I might not do so much, but the little I do has more impact now.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Funke. So I want to talk a bit about lessons we've learned over time, right? We've seen the global space. I mean, almost in every country now, we have the women fighting for themselves when it comes to representation in all sectors, be it political, be it leadership, anything. Now, I wanted to, like I said, I want to talk about the lessons. What have you people seen? I mean, given that you have been in this space fighting for women for a long time now, what have you seen in other countries that you see that they do differently when it comes to empowering women, supporting women? Because here in Nigeria, we say policies, we make policies, but implementation is always a problem. We have rights that, take care of the protection of women, but still, yes, we don't see them being protected. I mean, it was in the newspaper now that Senator Natasha's petition has been dismissed. So at the end of the day, you see that it just seems like we are talking and talking, there's really no actions, So I want to talk about, like I said, let's talk about the lessons we've learned, so that when we bring it to the country now, there's implementation, there's things to be worked on, there's actions, actionable plans that we put on decks and we start working on it.
So I don't know
okay,
okay.
So I would love if Barrister Funke answers and then Mofolusade just answers right after, if that will work. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
All right.
So please go on, Barrister Funke.
Women's protection and women, especially with women's rights. Lagos State here, we have a very, very, very functional gender-based violence unit. We have a special court for gender-based violence. We even have, we have so many support groups for women and anything to do with sexual harassment, domestic violence. Lagos State in particular takes care of those situations with speed and effect. But my personal experience in those fields are the women themselves ready to be helped? I've had a lady call me that, she has an abusive ex and all, that I should help her get him arrested. And what I told her then was that there's a procedure, there's a process. That he came to our shop and he broke some things. I was ready to stay with her every step of the way, but then she had to take the first step. I cannot lay a complaint on her behalf. So I told her to go to the proper authorities and lay your complaint, have it in writing. Let's have it done so we can follow it up to the highest, the fullest. And maybe she'll go there tomorrow to lay her complaints. She didn't go. Immediately I told her, go and lay your complaints at XYZ authority. This lady disappeared. And this was somebody that was calling me morning, noon, and night before, when she thought I was just going to snap my fingers and maybe send some people to rustle and hassle, hassle her ex. We've had instances of people coming to support women with domestic violence, and then they go back and they say, leave me and my husband alone. They're not pursuing any case against their husband. oh, it's the society, you're trying to break up their happy home. There are so many things to this. I would not like to delve into the matter of Senator Natasha because not only is she a woman in politics like me, this is a very, very popular case with a spotlight on it. And with the parties concerned, it's the parties that, that actually know what has happened. I do not have enough information from my third-party sources, from my blog sources, from what I'm hearing and the gossip I'm hearing to make an informed decision on Senator Natasha's case. But if the Senate has thrown it out, her petition out, if she has a case, she shouldn't let up. She can represent her case. So it's not that, oh, she has not been silenced. If she's as strong as I think she is, and if she really has a case, I don't think Senator Natasha will give up. That's not the end of her. That's not the end of her matter. She can go to other quarters to make sure she's heard. So, but well, I wish her and the Senate President all the best. I really do not have I don't have proper information to have an opinion or a thought about their matter. But women are not as disadvantaged as we make it out to be. We also need to make those steps ourselves. When Jesus turned water into wine at the wedding, somebody still had to fill those jars. Our problem is we don't like to fill the jars. When we fill the jars, we can now have the system take its course. It's not perfect. I will never say it's perfect, but it's a system that works, but we need to put in that effort. So we actually do have laws and policies that protect women, but enforcement, sometimes the first step towards enforcement is our step.
Thank you very much. So I would really love Mofolu Sade to just answer right after, or if she would like God's Beauty to repeat her question. Mofolu Sade, please go on. Okay, so I think we don't have her here. So thank you very much, Barrister Orifunke. You said a lot, and in fact, I was going through so much planning and so much, okay, maybe this was the step I wanted to take before, okay, one step back, two steps forward, just as you were speaking. Now, if you were going to give an advice to a woman who is into community development, you know, trying to bring in the men, the women, the elderly, all these people together, but somewhat facing some backlash here and there about why she's the one that wants to do it and why she cannot just leave it for a man or pack all her ideas and give it to the male counterpart to do it. What's that advice that you give that woman? For a woman who is also striving to become something in politics or as a leader, what's that one advice that you are so certain that if this person holds on to, that's going to be their key to opening all the doors for life?
Don't give up. Have a very strong support system. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be right all the time. As a woman, if you feel emotional about something, don't cry in front of anybody. Go home and cry. In my first tenure as a vice chairman, I didn't like it. It was horrid. There were so many challenges. But once I realized it was getting too much for me at work, I just get into my car, go home and cry. You are allowed to feel bad, but don't give up. Get back into the ring. You're even allowed to feel defeated. Allow yourself to feel your emotions, but don't give up. Always come back. Just come back, re-strategize, go back. People that rejected me then, I'm working very well with them today. People that I never thought would be part of my team that I could work with, I'm working with them exceptionally well today. So don't give up. Allow yourself to. It's not there will be rainy days. It's not going to be kumbaya. Not everybody would accept you, even though you have the best of intentions. It will take some time to convince people to let you do what you want to do. Because human beings were naturally resistant to change. People who feel, the people who you even want to make this impact for, who you are doing this thing for, will reject you. But keep your eyes on your prize, keep your focus on your vision, on what you want to achieve, and don't give up.
Thank you very much. Mofolusade, I think we have you here. Please
Yes, I'm here now.
give us one advice that you give a woman who is driving the force for leadership, community development, sustainable development for herself and her community. What's that one thing that you think that she should hold, that key thing that she should hold and should never let go? You have mentioned your why, which is something that we talk about every single time on this table, that what is that why? What is that thing that keeps driving you even when everything is working against you? So just tell our audiences there that what's that one thing that they should hold there that will keep them going for life?
Right. So one thing that women are gifted with is intuition. Right. So sometimes I think a lot of us get carried away with the external noise, with everything coming from outside, and we lose sight of that strength that we have within. So one thing, if I'm going to advise anybody that is in that place of power, is don't disconnect from who you are inside. Your strength comes from inside, so forget about the noise on the outside, forget about the unrealistic expectations too, all the weights that hold you down and make you deviate from who you truly are. Because, see, the superpower that a human has, whether man or woman, is your uniqueness. The world is waiting to experience that uniqueness, that thing that you're bringing. The moment you disconnect from that uniqueness of who you are, which got you there in the first place, it becomes a problem. So don't lose sight.
Thank you very much, Mofolusade. Both of you, if you were in like a seated position or if we were in an audience, would have gotten up to give like a huge round of applause, because both of you are doing great work and it's so beautiful to see. And I think that you have already inspired all of us here on this table and other women who are watching to take, to take actionable steps towards achieving what they want to achieve. Both of you have said two different things, but they have all linked to the same thing, saying that women should not give up, and their why is the most important thing. So I'm so grateful for both of you. Thank you for such insightful conversation. And of course, my co-uncles, you always do great every time. Thank you guys for this wonderful time. To our viewers, we'll see you again tomorrow as we talk about another woman matter. Ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as we will update you on what we have for tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?